up guys, I'm back for another video, and today I'll just be talking about the new banner that is coming out in the next update, which is later on today. Like, it's just in a few hours. So the next banner will be Green King and Red Helbram. And when it comes to if you should summon, it's a maybe. It's not a hard skip, nor it is like a hard summon. It's like in the middle, because both of them are really good units. Like, some of you might already have Green King, and you guys should know how strong he is for Grey Demon. He's pretty much a necessity for Grey Demon if you are doing like if you are doing extreme. You pretty much need like at least one Green King, and like you 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 can have just one Green King, like out of the two people, you and like the another person. You need to have like at least one Green King, I think, because normally you don't need him, but he's really good for Grey Demon. As for myself, I don't actually have a Green King, so I just build like, for my Grey Demon, if I'm doing extreme, I don't really take a damage dealer. I just bring like support characters like Merlin, Gopher, King, or like I'm gonna swap out one of the characters for like the Green Elizabeth, so I can like outrush, outcycle. So yeah, I just play the supporting role when it comes to a Grey Demon Extreme. So you don't actually need him. You can just find someone who has Green King instead. But if you wanna, I mean, if you wanna be the one doing damage, then you should you should have Green King on your team. But you don't need him. You can always just find someone else. But as for Helbram, right, he's going to shift up the meta because he's just like insanely good. But like, you know how right now a lot of people are running Galen with Arthur because Galen has an amplify card. So the more buffs he has on him, the more damage he'll do on his one strike or some. I'm pretty sure his single target is called one strike. So what happens is that Arthur just buffs him, gives him like 3 or 4 buffs, depending on what rank the buff is. And then since Galen has Amplify, he'll just do a ton of damage on the single target. But the problem with that is that with the problem with that team is that Escanon is coming out, and plus Helbram and King have Petrifies. What Petrify does is that you basically, it's like a stun, but you can't hit the person after they are petrified, or you just break the Petrify, obviously. But when you petrify a character, they lose all their buffs. So if you petrify a Galen with Arthur's buffs, as long as the Arthur's attack boost isn't a level 3, you can just petrify him and remove the buffs. So he have to rebuff the Galen for him to do damage again with that one ability. And the main reason why I'm just going to show you guys his abilities first, in case you guys aren't familiar with his abilities. It'd be nice if this would load. I'm just gonna, hello? Okay, good. So let's see. His first ability is like Merlin's it's like the Green Merlin single target and Red SR Bun single target. Basically, he just deals damage to one enemy and removes one out gauge. I'm pretty sure the multipliers are the same, like throughout all 3 characters, and I'm pretty sure this is just the same card. It just depletes one out gauge. At rank 2 depletes 1 as well, and at rank 3 depletes 3, but obviously the multiplier goes up. Rank 1 and rank 2 both removes 1 out gauge, but is the difference, but there's a difference in multipliers. So this is like a really valuable ability. It's just like Merlin's attack removal. And if you have Merlin, you already know how strong that card is. And as for the second ability, it's the same card as King, and everyone has King, the Blue King. Everyone has Blue King, and you guys already know how strong the Petrification is. And it's basically the same card, so it's basically having 2 Petrifies instead of 1 on like the same team, because when you run Helbram, you run him with Merlin at the back. you run him with, and then you run him with blue king and red gopher. So basically you just have two characters that can petrify. The thing is that it's the same thing as king, so you need a level 2, you need a rank 2 for it to start petrifying characters. But that's why he's good with gopher. If gopher gets a rank up, he can rank up either Helbram or king, and then once you rank them up, they'll get a rank 2 petrification card, and then they can just cycle petrifies pretty much. They How this team works is that, example you have a level 2 rank up card on gopher, and you have like a bunch of level 1 cards for this. You have a bunch of this level 1 card and king's petrify card at level 1, like rank 1. Gopher can just AoE rank up everything to rank 2, so you just get a bunch of petrifies, and you just cycle petrifies, and while building up your ult. So like basically, if you get the right RNG, like the opponent you're facing pretty much can't do anything, because they'll be permanently petrified while you build up your out gauge. And his out makes it so that he cancels buffs and stances on all enemies and inflicts damage equal to 280% of attack. The out doesn't really hit hard at level 1, but it's an AoE out and it removes buffs and stances, so it's pretty decent. And like the thing is that if you run like Kingbram is, as I've already said, for Kingbram you run Gopher, King and Helbram with Merlin at the back. Merlin at the back is just for like it's because she has this card as well, first of all, and her passive makes it so that everyone starts with 1 out gauge. And since you're stalling for your outs, since you're petrifying, you're spamming petrifies and stalling for your outs, they can't really do much. And plus, Gopher, King and Helbram's outs are all AoE. If you get like 2 or 3 of them off, you just basically wipe their whole team. But the problem with this team is that right now a lot of people are running Gopher with Arthur. So what that means is that if you go second while running Kingbram, and the Arthur gets a level 3 boost, attack boost, turn 1, then you're basically, I'm pretty sure you just lose at that point. Because if you can get that off first turn, he'll just become, obviously you'll get the basic stats increased, like the attack, HP and defense. On top of that, he's going to grant debuff immunity to everyone for 3 turns. So the premise of this team is to just petrify and stall for out gauge, but if you can't petrify, then this team just loses a lot of efficiency. It just becomes much worse if Arthur manages to get off his rank 3 boost. His best, but that's if he gets off the level 3 boost turn 1 and if he goes first turn. So yeah. And plus, Escanor is coming out soon, so like, if you don't know, his passive makes it so that once he gets 5 out gauge, he removes all buffs and debuffs on himself, so you can't really stop him if he can get 5 out gauges. As for Helbram's passive, it makes it so that he increases basic stats by 5% per surviving ally. Basic stats are like attack, HP and defense. It's like the same thing as Arthur, pretty much, the attack boost. And this is good because I'm pretty sure I'm not too sure if this counts as 15% or 20%, because I don't know if he includes himself. But he basically just increases basic stats. That's all you need to know for surviving allies. So once you enter the match, you have 4 people alive. So I'm pretty sure you just get plus 20%. It might be plus 15, but I think it's plus 20. But I mean, either way, it's a pretty decent passive. And when you look at King, whereby you run King with Helbram to form the Kingbram team pretty much, and it increases all fairy allies basic stats by 8%. So this just boosts the stats for Helbram even more. So yeah, Helbram just becomes like a pretty hard hitter because his stats just keeps getting increased by his passive and King's passive. So as to if you should summon, okay, for me personally, I'm not summoning because I don't because I don't really enjoy this playstyle, to be honest, and I'm already like champion 5 in ungeared, so I don't really need to push as hard for PvP. And like he's don't get me wrong, this team isn't bad. It's actually really good. Like up to this point, like in the Japanese server, the Kingbram team is actually still like very viable. But the problem is that the banner comes with Green King, which is like not that good in PvP. He's good for great even, and if you don't have Green King and you really want him and you are planning to push for PvP, then yeah, I mean go ahead. But personally, I'm not doing it because like like I rather just save diamonds for the next banner or the banner afterwards most because as you can see, right, they before the Gopher and Gallon's banner, like they were dropping one unit at a time. They dropped Red Merlin, and then they dropped Green Bun, and then they dropped Green Merlin, all in their own banners. But now they dropped Gopher and Gallon, and now they are planning to drop Helbram and Green King. What this means is that they are probably looking to drop like more banners. Like they are probably, I'm saying probably, looking to follow like the Japanese version of the game. Like trying to follow they're probably trying to follow like how they drop their characters by like dropping two characters at a time. And the next two units are most likely going to be Red Demon Meliodas and Green Escanor. Most likely. And that banner I would summon on for sure. Definitely would summon on. If Green Escanor and Red Demon Meliodas comes out, I'm summoning. Because I really want Escanor, and he's just like a really top tier unit. He's out just one shots everything. And he's just a overall very solid unit. And Red Demon Meliodas, he's really good. He'll be okay in PvP like at the start. But after that he'll just fall off. But he's like pretty much essential for like Crimson Demon, like the more difficult stages like Hell and stuff. So he's a must have unit. But if Red Demon Meliodas drops by himself, I'm not summoning. If Escanor drops by himself, I'm summoning. So yeah, I wouldn't summon. Like a large reason is because I'm already champion 5 in PvP. But if you're trying to push hard on PvP, then maybe you can summon, but I wouldn't. So yeah. Oh yeah. Before I forget. If you don't have Gopher, I wouldn't recommend summoning. Because uh this team, right, with Helbram and King, they are heavily reliant on having rank 2 skills to cycle petrifies. And you can't really cycle petrifies nearly as easily if you do not have Gopher. So this team isn't nearly as good without Gopher. So if you don't have Gopher, I wouldn't summon. For sure. I would rather summon a Gopher's banner. If you have Gopher's banner and you want to climb on PvP, then go ahead, I guess. I'm not stopping you. It's not a bad banner, but I personally wouldn't. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.